Shri Ravi Shankar, many thanks for joining us here on Times Now. It is extremely important for people to know what someone of your stature really think about the issue that we are discussing today. This is a people's issue. It's not a political issue. People here believe that the Tamil pride, Tamil culture is under threat. It's become much more than just about taming a bull sport which it initially began. Where do you stand on this matter? What will you tell the people of Tamil Nadu?
Yeah. Is bigger than Holi or Diwali for Tamilians. There's the biggest festival in Tamil Nadu is Pongal. And Jallikattu or the Mattu Pongal, the second day, like next day after Diwali, you have Bhai Duja.
Yes.
In Tamil Nadu, these Mattu Pongal or worshipping of bulls and cows is a tradition. And it's very sentimental issue. Every village has, they have this festival on the second day, they decorate. Even in the greeting cards, you will see cow and bulls are along with the pot of rice is what the greeting cards of Pongal that you will find everywhere. So, this is like saying, we should not have Kumbh Mela.
Right.
Those accidents do happen in Kumbh Mela. Every Kumbh Mela has at least a few people injured.
Right, but ultimately the argument on which the Supreme Court has based its decision is on cruelty to animals. Where do you stand on that? Because, the PETA has raised issues about how the bulls are drugged, how there's chili powder rubbed on their faces. Do you think that, ultimately, do you agree that this is being viewed as a tradition versus law argument?
No, see, in tradition, there is no such thing as chili powder being rubbed. Of course, these rules should be laid down. People should not torture the animal, should not do chili powder or give it some brandy or whiskey so that it gets mad to run. No, it's not part of the tradition.
Okay.
That's what I'm saying. That some people are violating the rules, and instead of imposing stringent rule, if we say, it's like saying no car should fly on the road because accidents do happen. In that case, you have horse riding. People tame horse and they ride horses. That's part of our military, part of our president's presidential palace. And horse races are happening. We take dogs on leashes, train dogs, sniffer dogs. Even that is violation of rule. Why do our security agencies and police have sniffer dogs? Even they train their dogs to sniff.
Right,
No dog ever would like to be chained. No dog would ever like to be chained, And we chain them. And here, you see, actually, Jallikattu, they worship the animal.
Yes.
They take good care of the animal the whole year. One day in a year, they play with the animal. Even here, the tradition is the owner of the animal stands on the other side and invites the animal, and people hug the animal and they run along with it.
Right. I understand your sentiments, and of course we respect your sentiments there, and we understand that this is a very important festival related to Tamil pride. But at the same time, what is your expectation out of the state government, out of the center, when a situation like this emerges, where you have a Supreme Court order? Don't you think that ultimately it's the law of the land which has to be respected? How do you go about this? How does the state government now go about this?
No, absolutely, it's correct. We must respect the law. Here, that's why I'm saying that the Supreme Court need to be approached again, and the appeal has to be filed again, and correct picture of the Jallikattu must be presented. I think it's a lack of proper presentation by the parties of who are for Jallikattu.
Yes, but Guruji, you must be aware that this was a ban imposed in 2014. There has been a re-appeal as well, which was rejected right ahead of Pongal this time, which is why this entire escalation of the issue happened. Like you said, there were attempts to represent the issue at the Supreme Court, but even in all its wisdom, the Supreme Court has stayed the ban.
No, that's where I feel that we have not kept the right picture or given the right projection of what this program is all about. You are just picking up those incidences where they have violated the laws and who have done some things which should not have been done, and
right.
Keeping that in the front. And you cannot ban the whole culture and tradition, which is in fact protecting the breed, the indigenous breed.
Mm-hmm.
See, we have lost nearly 15 to 20 different breeds of oxes and bulls in Odisha, in state of Odisha. It's Tamil Nadu which has preserved these bulls and have taken good care of them. And I think people feel this is a conspiracy to totally do away with the indigenous breed. That's another thing that people are worried about.
Right. But on one last word from you on what would you tell the protesters today? These are spontaneous protests. This doesn't have any political color. For once, we have all parties supporting the protest. Do you also support this scale and this level of protest that is happening in Tamil Nadu today?
Of course, I stand by the people of Tamil Nadu, their wishes, their passion and interest in protecting their culture, their traditions.
Yes.
And I would appeal to them that please do not let this peaceful movement be hijacked by anti-social elements or politicians.
Okay. Yes.
And the governments cannot do much about it. Let's appeal to the Supreme Court and present the right picture of Jallikattu in front of the honorable judges. And definitely you will get a fair hearing. That's what I would like to assure them. Our Supreme Court is very sensible and very sensitive to the wishes, to the cultures of people, and they will definitely give a good and fair hearing. We do need stringent laws where the animal nor the people get injured, and cruelty is not done, practiced in any distorted form, and cruelty should not enter into this game, which has been happening for ages.
Absolutely nothing infrastructure in any village. A simple sport that they have once a year, they prepare for 2 months and they have a little competition. That you want to ban without understanding what is the cultural rooting of this is, I think, it is simply because certain activists have the ability to get the best lawyers and present themselves in the court in a certain way. The farmers who did not realize what's happening did not present themselves properly. That is why this has happened. I'm sure it can be appealed once again. Anyway, Jallikattu is over for the year. It is only next January. By then I hope things will change, and I'm sure it will change.
Swamiji, in nutshell, you are supporting this Jallikattu?
The question is not whether I support it or not. You can't. It is like you try to ban cricket tomorrow because cricket is a dangerous game. Have you ever played cricket? I don't think so. You played with tennis ball. If you played with a hard ball, it's a missile coming at you at 150 kilometers per hour. You may be watching Virat Kohli or Sachin Tendulkar smashing the ball every time and you think it's a fun thing. Go stand there. If you and me stand there, your head will break in no time. Believe me, it's a dangerous, dangerous game. Every year, at least half a dozen to 1 dozen people, known cricketers, die on the cricketing field. So you want to ban it? Ban it and see what will happen. Similarly, Jallikattu is like that in Tamil Nadu. Without realizing what it is, you ban it. It's not a question of whether I support or not. People of Tamil Nadu are not going to give it up for sure. And I am very proud that today in the streets of Chennai, youth, college-going youth, who have never probably participated in Jallikattu, but coming out in the support of rural youth that you should not take away their sport. And this is not a bullfight. Let's understand this. This is not Sevilla, where there's a bullfight in the afternoon, they'll kill a dozen, on a Saturday afternoon a dozen bulls are slaughtered. This is not a bullfight, these are prized animals. This is the way we have preserved the genetic pool of these animals. There were over 122 or 23 breeds of local breeds of cattle, bovine cattle in the country. Today there are only 37 left. The way to preserve this, one of this is very important, that is a sport which involves the animals because they will keep them in the best condition. The working animals are not in that condition. It's the sporting animals which are in the best condition, they breed better and the future genetic pool is maintained. You want to destroy all this because somebody is sort of selling a cow from Jersey for you. And I want you to know that quality of milk that we produce in these animals is A2 type, which has many enzymes which are hugely supportive for the growth of the child and maintenance of your body. And today you're just drinking the wrong type of milk from the Jersey cows. This is a known fact, this is not my opinion, this is a scientific fact. Today, milk is one of the worst things to consume, simply because you're consuming the wrong type of milk.
But this issue is seen as a direct conflict between modern law and ancient belief. What inner engineering says about this?
Where is modern law and ancient belief? But this is modern people on the street who protesting. Where is ancient law? No, you want to divide the society as those who support and those who don't support. I refuse to divide the society. Let this be very clear. I refuse to divide the society. Are you wanting to divide the society on the basis of a simple sport that is happening once a year? No, let's not do that. In a court of law, you must understand laws are not made in the court. They're only interpreting the law. You want to ask questions, you don't want me to answer? Please, relax. Please, what is this? A court is supposed to only interpret the law. To interpret the law, a court goes through a process depending upon what proofs and what stuff the lawyers and others present. As I said earlier, organized groups, we must check the funding of these organizations. There is some suspect about this. The organized groups present themselves very well. Where does the Indian farmer get to present himself well about his interests? It's time to represent him properly. Tamil Nadu government must do it.
Sir, just a minute. I have a question.
We'll leave the Jallikattu. You want to next time, January 16th, you must be there in Tamil Nadu just to see what it is.
Yes. Sir, Jallikattu is having the same background as bullock cart racing is happening in Maharashtra. And still the government is confused on the same issue. They say bull is not an animal that can run like a horse.
Say,
So, what's your take on that?
if you are so concerned about cruelty to animals, first thing you have to stop is slaughter. Right now, all the bulls, if you ban Jallikattu, all these bulls will line up at the slaughterhouse, young bulls, not old ones. Now, if you slaughter an animal, at least people should be consuming it for their food and nourishment. No, India is the largest exporter of beef. This is a crime. I'm saying this is a crime because we're an agricultural nation. Of all the things that we might have done, the greatest achievement in this country is our farmer, with absolutely no modern technology, with no infrastructure, he's producing food for 1.3 billion people. In this, a very essential partner is the bovine animals. Now, if you take away these animals at the rate at which you're taking away, already it's happening, I don't know if you're aware of it, the nourishment levels in the vegetables and crops that we are growing in India in the last 25 years, it's dropped down by about 40%. This is why whatever you eat, people are not growing to their full size. This is because the soil quality has come down dramatically. The only way you can preserve the soil is animal waste and vegetable waste has to go back into the soil. You can't keep soil rich by fertilizer and tractor. You need animals. Actually, we should make a law for every acre of land that you own, you must have this many animals on the land, not slaughtering it and sending it to some other country, because you are not sending an animal, you're not sending a meat. I want you to understand you're exporting Indian soil, which has nourished us for thousands of years, to Saudi Arabia. Indian soil, not animals.
Thank you, everyone. That will be the end of the press conference. Once again, if
Nothing
there-
about inner engineering, all bulls.
I think that's good.
Thank you.